Now at 10, a diver is dead after an accident at Missouri's Roaring River State Park. Plus, we'll look at efforts to restore an old Southeast Kansas schoolhouse. And high school football action, the highlights and scores on 4 States Friday night.
The 4 States Most Watched News starts now.
A man is dead in Berry County, Missouri after a diving accident. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. One of the divers from exploration group KISS Rebreathers divers died at Roaring River State Park this morning. This is video from a previous dive. According to the Missouri Highway Patrol, Eric Hahn died while staging equipment for a dive coming up. The divers were in about 190 feet of water. An investigation into how he died is underway. You'll find more on this story right now at KOAMnewsnow.com. McDonald County, Missouri authorities have issued an arrest warrant for a former pastor accused of rape. They're looking for Raymond Lambert II of Washburn. Court documents show he's accused of raping a 10-year-old girl during the summer of 2013. She just reported it this past August. The victim told investigators she was visiting relatives near Lambert's residence when the rape occurred. Sam Lane joins us now with a first look at the weather.
And we've had some rain on radar this evening. As you can see on live radar, we have some storms across northern Oklahoma extending over into the Nowata area, and also a little shower south and east of Miami, north of Grove, down towards Jay. Let's zoom in a little bit closer, and you can see the shower activity along Highway 28 here from Chelsea up to Nowata and then northward from there. And we're going to see more of these showers over the next 24 hours, and that's good. Hopefully it'll put somewhat of a dent in this exceptional drought that we are seeing across southeastern Kansas, northeast Oklahoma, and southwest Missouri, surrounded by extreme drought. It's not likely going to put a big dent in it, but it's at least starting some progress. We're going to have a nice weekend coming along with some weekend showers, and also we have our first freeze coming up and maybe a return to the drought. And I'll have details on that coming up straight ahead.
All right, we'll see you soon. Ascension Via Christi is closing its Fort Scott Family Medicine Clinic on November 11th. This emergency department there will remain open. Now, as the clinic closes, Girard Medical Center is stepping in. They're going to take over the practice at the 109 South Main Clinic. Anyone who goes to the family clinic and wants to continue receiving care there must request a transfer of medical records. The phone number to call to make that happen is on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. New restaurants coming to Pittsburgh. KOAM has confirmed that IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, will open a restaurant in Pittsburgh sometime in mid-2023. It's going to be at 200 West Centennial. That's where Gusano's Pizza used to be. IHOP says it'll announce an exact opening date as that time gets a little bit nearer. A historic school in northeast of Parsons, Kansas is now open again. KOAM's Kerry Worthen has that story.
It was a wonderful experience going to school here.
The history of the schoolhouse far predates the visitors' time here as students. It was built in 1877 and efforts to restore it go back more than 50 years. Roger Pruitt with the Oak Grove School Historical Society says much of the work has been done in the last 30 years, but the majority has been done in the last 5 years.
So the whole intent of restoring this school is to set it up so that we have a program of Kansas history for 4th grade school students. And so they'll be able to come out here and have a living history experience.
Oak Grove has a connection to the Ingalls family portrayed in the books and TV series Little House on the Prairie. Baby Grace, played by Wendy Lou Lee, visits the schoolhouse for the first time.
I was invited to Kansas for this open house to promote this amazing one-room schoolhouse that is historic and it has a great significance for Little House on the Prairie and the story of the Ingalls family going west.
Oak Grove was built on the Osage Trail, the route that thousands of migrating settlers followed into Kansas after the Civil War. When you stand in front of the Oak Grove Schoolhouse, you stand upon the same route traveled and frequented by these determined pioneers.
And they crossed the river, the Neosho River, just a mile and a half east of here, and then came up through section 25 into this section, section 36, and crossed right here in front of this school location.
The school may look a little different, but to the students who attended Oak Grove School, The memories are forever.
No, standing up here on this stage, this room doesn't look nearly as big as it did whenever we were in grade school and doing a play or something up here.
Now, the schoolhouse where generations of students receive their education can provide a lesson in history for future generations. In Parsons, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Oak Grove has been listed on both the Kansas and National Historic Sites registers. You can learn more about the school on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Coming up, the Southeast Kansas Humane Society is struggling to get certain animals adopted. We're going to learn about one dog that found its forever home. Plus, a look at the coordination and planning that goes into events like the Carthage Maple Leaf Festival. The Southeast Kansas Humane Society is finding it hard to get their larger dogs adopted. KOAM's Yana Hautala learned about an adoption story and talked with the new dog owner.
This little guy is Reno. He's been in and out of families in his life, and he has been living at the Southeast Kansas Humane Society. Now, Mary Weirman is coming to his rescue.
They can't languish in there forever. It's hard on them when they're in a kennel all day, all night, and they're not really getting the interaction with people that they need.
Reno's adoption story is a bit different than usual, as he's been to the Humane Society twice.
He was back at the Humane Society for several months, so I think, he was probably feeling a little lost and, just wanting to be with a family.
Jasmine Kyle from Southeast Kansas Humane Society says dogs are not just dogs. They have feelings, they experience trauma, and if they are returned to the shelter after their initial adoption, they know exactly what a shelter is.
They got experience with living on a couch with us. They got experience of going to bed at night with their family. It's extremely hard for them because yes, we provide them the best that we can out here with activity, enrichment, and love from our staff, but there is nothing that beats a home.
Kyle is grateful Reno found his forever home, as shelters in Kansas currently have lots of large dogs that are not getting adopted. She says she could see the connection between Reno and Weirman immediately.
He would follow them. And I was like, okay, there is a connection already. And it was beautiful. As soon as we handed off, he did a backwards look, and then he just smiled and he walked out the door with her, and we knew it was meant to be.
Weirman says adopting a dog is the best decision anyone can make.
Go out and walk a dog. You might find that you really like having that partner, and you might change your mind.
Change your mind and change one lucky dog's world. In Pittsburgh, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
Jasmine Kyle from the Humane Society says intakes for animals have gone up 87%. She reminds us every animal that gets adopted is going to give us space to stay for new intakes. The Maple Leaf Festival is underway in Carthage. Putting on events like that takes a lot of planning and coordination. One of the main groups helping make sure everything runs smoothly is the Carthage Police Department. They're crucial in keeping the thousands of people attending the festival safe and having a good time.
Officers there for number one, crowd control, emergency access if needed, but also, they're there just to keep the people safe. And when a parade or a big event like that happens, people seem to forget that the rules still apply. Safety rules still apply. You can't just do anything that you want to do.
The parade kicks off tomorrow at 9 a.m. Sam is going to be right back with the complete forecast. First, though, we take time to honor a local veteran. Former President and Abilene, Kansas native Dwight Eisenhower. He was born on this date in 1890. He served in the U.S. Army from 1915 to 1953, became president, of course, then served again from 1961 to 1969. And we salute General Dwight Eisenhower, a four-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes from all across this area. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. We invite you to do that. Just go to our website, click on the link, KOAMnewsnow.com.
Boy, it was a great way to start off the weekend today with bright sunny skies, a little bit on the breezy side, but things have calmed down just a little bit right now. Let's take a look outside right now at Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Pretty nice evening shaping up down there. Here in the local area, we saw highs in the upper 80s out to the west, like in Coffeyville with 86 today, and then 84 in Fredonia, 82 in Yates Center. We even here in Joplin got into the lower 80s as well. It stayed in the upper 70s up to the north though, so it was just a tad cooler up there. All right, let's take a look at the almanac. 83 this afternoon. We started out at 41, which was below normal, but we were above normal on the high, so it kind of washed out. And look at this rainfall, only a little under 0.3 for the entire month so far. That's just simply not enough, folks. Radar right now does have some some storms on it and some showers. Down in northeastern Oklahoma, you can see some lightning bolts there in Washington County, extending on over into northern Rogers County. Let's zoom in and show you a little bit closer view. From around Chelsea right now, just to the west of Veneta, a shower there. That's moving to the south and east. And so it looks like northeastern Oklahoma has a chance, and also northeastern or northwestern Arkansas, of some scattered showers tonight, even around Pineville, a little bit of a shower there. All right, let's take a look at temperatures right now across the area. Generally in the 70s still in the metro, 76 in Grove right now, 77 in Welch. But notice up to the north, temperatures are dropping now into the upper 60s, where it's down to 62 degrees currently for our friends in Stockton. Let's take a look at the dew points. They're in the 30s, even some 40s showing up like in Anderson and in Grove, so it's getting a little bit more moist out there. Right now in Joplin, we're sitting at 74 degrees northwest wind. The front has passed through now at 12 miles per hour. It feels like 74, dew point's 39, and so the humidity is down there at 28%. So a lot of those showers are probably evaporating before it hits the ground. All right, the front moving through tonight, taking with it the showers and storms and then northeasterly winds with lows in the 40s, some 50s thrown in. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees with southeasterly winds. But then notice as we go through tomorrow afternoon and evening, more scattered showers and storms down in northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. That's where the best chance of rain will be. Then we have a front moving through again by Sunday morning, turning our winds around to the north and dropping our dew points, and we'll make it into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees, a little bit warmer down to the south. And then as we go through Sunday night into Monday, check out these lows. 30s across the area, including Joplin with 39, 40s down to the south in Oklahoma. Over the next 7 days, it only gets colder as we go into the early part of next week, but at least we have tomorrow looking nice at a high of 80. Then on Tuesday, a high of only 51 after starting out at 30, and then Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, a low of 28. So Dow, our first freeze, and then we go right back to 80 degrees by the time we get to the latter part of next week.
80 might feel pretty good.
That's exactly right.
Thanks, Sam. Sam and I are getting out of here now so we can turn it over to Jacob. Friday night football action straight ahead.
Watching 4-Stage Friday Night. Brought to you by GN Bank, Labette Health, ProCam, and the law offices of Stickland, Dryer, and Tinney.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Week 8 of 4-State Friday Night here on KOAM. I'm KOAM Sports Director Jacob Leonard. We have a lot of big games to get to tonight in the 4 states. We're going to start in Southwest Missouri with a matchup of two of the best in the state. The Carthage Tigers host a COC showdown tonight against the Joplin Eagles. Now, both teams are 6-1 through 7 weeks, and both are in the top 10 in the state rankings in their respective classes. Carthage, the top-ranked team in the state in Class 5. Joplin is number 6 in Class 6 this week. A first Joplin possession, pass a little high. Davion King gets the interception off the tip. King returns it into Joplin territory. Tigers would take advantage of the turnover. Luke Gall through the hole for the 2-yard touchdown. He scored twice in the first half to put Carthage up 14-0. But Joplin answers with some big plays, getting tricky here. Reverse pass. Wide receiver Terrence Gibson throws it up. Quarterback Hobbs Gooch all alone. 55-yard touchdown connection there gets Joplin on the board in the second quarter. Then after a defensive stop for the Eagles, the give goes to Quinn Renfro. Some traffic over there, but he gets loose. Just a foot race down the sideline, and he wins it. 80-yard score for Renfro. We're all tied up at 14 at halftime. Midway through the third, Tigers go back in front. Aiden Rogers to the other side for the 11-yard touchdown. Home team back up 7. But early fourth, Joplin responds, going back to Quinn Renfro. He gets down the sideline. Made me take a step back there with the camera. 41 yards for Renfro, and just like that, we're tied up again. Carthage, though, got to see this one. Cooper Jadwin going deep. Check out the concentration from Hudson Moore. Great grab, sheds the defender, 56 yards. Look, this game was so good. Carthage actually blocks a field goal and returns it after time expired to beat Joplin 34-28. The Seneca Indians are still unbeaten, sitting at 7-0 with just 2 weeks left in the regular season. Now, those final 2 games are against a pair of pretty good teams in the Big 8. Now, it begins tonight on the road against the McDonald County Mustangs. Now, a win here, and Seneca will claim the Big 8 West Conference title. Indians on offense, using most of the first quarter clock deep in Mustangs territory. Gavin Hoover drops back, finds Ethan Altick down to the Mustang 9-yard line. Hoover again airing it out to one of his favorite receivers here, Connor Ackerson, for the TD. Extra point is good, so it's 7-0 Indians. McDonald County now, second quarter, keeping the ball on the ground. Sam Barton, nice effort here, reaches, he's down at the 2. Sets up the Mustang offense pretty good. Quarterback sneak for the touchdown. That ties it up at 7. Midway through the second, and this one, it was tight, but Seneca hangs on to win 28-21. Another one out of the Big 8 here, the Lamar Tigers. Fresh off a big win over Nevada, trying to stay rolling against Cassville. Lamar gets it done tonight, 41-13. Tigers are now 7-1 this season and will wrap up the regular season next week on the road against Hollister. Moving to Kansas now, we have a big district matchup tonight in Parsons with the Vikings hosting the Frontenac Raiders. Now, Parsons is 5-1 this season after suffering their first loss of the year last week, falling on the road to Galena. On the other side, the Raiders are 4-2, including a 2-0 start to district play. First possession for Parsons. Jesse Jones takes the handoff. Look at the move there. Weaves in and out of the Frontenac defense. In for the 22-yard touchdown. The Raiders would answer. Cal Turlip connects with Alex Williams on the far side. The extra point after that was blocked, though. So Parsons maintains a 7-6 lead. Sticking around in the first quarter, Parsons on the 5. Shout out to the O-line here. Jamarion Washington finds space, runs it in. That pushes the lead to 8 for Parsons. To the second, Turlip looks downfield. Jason Smart picks it off. Big play for the sophomore from Parsons, but Frontenac ties it before half. They come back and win it 27-21. Let's go to Girard now. The Trojans try to stay perfect tonight against Anderson County. Early first quarter, quarterback Luke Nigaman fakes the handoff, makes one guy miss, then another. Eventually takes it all the way down the sideline for the Trojan touchdown. It's 6-0 Girard. Trojans defense showed up tonight as well on the pass over the middle. Alex Kester, they're waiting, gets the pick, returns it to Anderson County territory. This time, Nigaman tosses out to Bo Harris. Runs by everybody over there, in for another Girard touchdown. At that point, it's 13-0, but they get even more in the second. Nigaman doing it himself. 26-0 Girard at halftime, and they would go on to win big, 47-7 to get to 7-0 this season. In the SEK, tonight, big one for Coffeyville. 5-1 Field Kinley hosting the undefeated Chanute Blue Comets. Chanute too much tonight for Field Kinley, winning 40-26. Blue Comets are now 7-0 and will wrap up the regular season next week at home against Labette County. Well, that brings us to our one and only stop here on 4 State Friday night. When we come back, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons aim for their 5th straight win tonight at home against Smithville, Missouri. Plus, Carl Junction hits the field at home against Willard. We're going to have those highlights and more after this. Well, after a slow start to the season, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons have got things rolling in the last month. Now, they were 0-2 in the first 2 weeks, but Pittsburgh has won 4 straight to get to 4-2 overall this season. Tonight, Pittsburgh tries to get their winning streak to 5 games, hosting an interstate matchup with Smithville, Missouri. Starting in the first, Smithville's Andrew Hedgecorth. Max McKenzie gets down the sideline and move the chains. Now, a few plays later, the same connection still working. Hedgecorth to McKenzie. This time, he's in the end zone for 6. Smithville takes the early lead. And Pittsburgh having trouble making anything happen in the first quarter. Back to Smithville in the second. They're in the red zone. This time it's Hedgecorth keeping it himself up the middle for 6. Pittsburgh not able to keep up tonight. Smithville wins at 35-7. Now 1A District 1, the Colgan Panthers, they're 5-1 into the night on a 4-game winning streak. Colgan keeps on rolling. They shut out Erie 55-0. The Panthers now 6-1. Will host Uniontown next Friday. The Galena Bulldogs picked up their biggest win of the season last week. Galena rallied from a 13-point deficit to beat Parsons 14-13, hand the Vikings their first loss of the season. The Bulldogs are 4-2 coming into the night. They try for their 4th straight win at home against St. Mary's Academy. First quarter, St. Mary's defense finds a hole here. John Turner brings down Tyler Little. Later, handoff to Dawson Mooney. Takes on 2 Crusaders here, gets to the 7. Galena knocking on the door, then right after that, Tyler Little finds his way in for the first touchdown of the game. Home team up 6-0. Bulldogs ball again, they're at the 20. Zane Turner finds Tyson Garrison. He's almost in, but not quite. No problem for Galena. They finish the drive again. It's Tyler Little in there for the score. 2-point conversion puts them up 14. All Galena tonight. They roll by St. Mary's Academy 38-0. On the Tri-Valley League this evening, the Humboldt Cubs hit the road to face Cherryville. Looking to bounce back from their tough district loss to Osage City. All Cubs tonight. They win at 46-0. Humboldt comes back home to finish the regular season next week, hosting West Franklin. The Nevada Tigers coming off a tough loss to Lamar, trying to rebound tonight at home against Monette. Monette, by the way, back-to-back wins after an 0-4 start. Doesn't matter tonight, though. Nevada rolls 48-7. Tigers are 6-2 and will hit the road to face undefeated Seneca next week to wrap up the regular season. To Carl Junction now, the Bulldogs at home tonight with a COC matchup against Willard. Pick it up, second quarter, Bulldogs ball, Malachi Moore over the middle, in for the touchdown. It's 13-0 CJ. Second quarter still, Dexter Merrill gets the ball. Another home team touchdown. That makes it 20-0. CJ just cruised all night. Tony Stewart gets loose and outruns everybody on the far side. That makes it 28-0. It's a shutout tonight. Carl Junction beats Willard 42-0. That's all the time we have here on 4 State Friday night. Be sure to switch it over to our sister station, Fox 14 at 11 o'clock for week 7 of Press Box. It's a 30-minute show. It's all high school football. We'll have even more highlights and scores from all across the area. For now, though, we're out of time. Thanks for staying up late with us. We'll see you right back here next week.